J.K. Rowling, the original accidental ally. I have finally had a haircut. It has happened. Oh my goodness. Ta-da. My hair was annoying me so much. I'm also very, very full, but welcome to the video. Hey Spuds, welcome back to the video. First video on the channel. I don't know. Welcome either way. I've forgotten my intro, but I hope you're well. Thank you for clicking on this video. That felt very aggressive. I'm calm. Hello. I'm not angry. Why am I coming across like this? I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm preemptively getting angry about what we're about to look at, or frustrated. That's a better word, because today we are looking at accidental allies. Oh yes, we are back with some more of those allies, mostly people who are transphobic and then accidentally sounding quite trans friendly, but also people who are homophobic and then sounding quite like generally LGBT plus positive, but they really don't mean to be. So the intention is phobia, but that's not what comes across because they don't know what they're talking about. Are we ready? Trans women are men. Okay, so that bit is just transphobic. There's no accidental allyship going on there. How transgenders, if anybody uses the word transgenders, transgenderism to trans, then they don't know what they're talking about. And it could either be like an innocent ignorance and not knowing, or it could be a little bit more serious, which is what's going on here. Orange flag that can very easily turn into a red flag if you hear those terms. Like transgenderism is the worst. So how transgenders think they look like? A bunch of Disney princesses, Frozen. Is that the kid from Wreck-It Ralph, the sweet one? Wee in the car. And then Snow White, Rapunzel. Okay, cool. How they think they look, right? How they actually look. And we've got Fiona from Shrek, and we've got one of the ugly sisters. Lovely. But we've also got Cinderella, Snow White, and I'm pretty sure that's Sleeping Beauty in the back. And then Fiona's mum, so Queen Lady. Accidental allies, because everybody in the bottom picture still a woman. There's zero indication that these people are not women in the movie, and they're actually really kick-ass. Not to shit on the versions of the princesses above, but like this literal scene is when they're all like, I'm not gonna sing because you won't want that, but you know, they're ready to like bust their way out of there and yeah, so that's actually complimentary. Like, trans women are women and they are strong women. Yeah, it's not to say that cis women aren't strong, but it's just this meme falls flat on its face because you're saying trans women are women and that they look like women. So you're wrong. They were once male but never a man. If you don't know the difference, you're part of the problem. So you're admitting that sex and gender aren't the same thing? Accidental ally? Yeah, they are admitting that they're two different things. Thank you, accidental ally. And have a nice day. I don't know, because you're still trying to be a butt. Trans and intersex are two different things. Yeah. Yes. Intersex are the only human who can change their sex. Trans men aren't women. That is a hot mess. Hot mess. Much said. But what I'm taking from that is trans men aren't women. No, we are not. I am a trans man, definitely not a woman. Thank you very much. I think this is a reply to J.K. Rowling. Just found out that calling a man is now considered offensive. Guess I'll just start calling them human with a Y chromosome from now on. 2 for the price of 1. Human with a... I mean, that's very inclusive. Intersex, trans people, non-binary people, cis people. Anybody with a Y chromosome could be any of those identities, and you have included them. How progressive of you. We love it. There is no such thing as being trans. Why is there an asterisk to the word trans? It is not rude. It's not offensive. Say it with your full chest. Trans. Nobody can't choose their gender. Follow if you agree. We love a double negative.
Nobody cannot choose their gender.
Anybody can choose their gender. Everybody can choose their gender. It's funny because there's a double negative, but if we take what they're meaning to say, still, yeah, sure, you can't choose your gender. It's because being trans isn't a choice. A lot of people are like,
oh, being gay is a choice, being trans is a choice.
And when it comes to like being trans, they then like to say,
you can't choose your gender. My worldview tells me that being trans is a choice because I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. So therefore, to me, I think it's a choice.
And my argument against being trans, therefore, is that you cannot choose your gender. And what the people that say that don't realize is that being trans is not a choice. I did not choose my gender. I did not choose to be trans. So thank you. Yes, you can't choose your gender. You will never be a woman. Trans mask wearing a pride pin. It's funny. Obviously, if transphobia has to continue, I want these types of accidental ally things to continue. I'd prefer if all transphobia just stopped, but you know, we're not there yet. I like the fact that there are transphobes out there who don't understand being trans so much to the point where they constantly validate trans people's identities. Thank you for saying that trans mask people will never be women, because You would be correct. So elder trans folk, baby trans, the elder trans is protecting the baby trans. This is very cute. And another good way to try out a potential name is to go to a coffee shop and give out the name for your order, then see how it makes you feel when the barista calls it out. Great idea, love it. And then somebody's replied to this meme going,
trans will never be women.
A single trans person will never be multiple women. True. There is so much blinkered perspectives among transphobes. And who said the transphobic community? They should get a flag. Pride. No, I'm so joking. Trans will never be women. It's coming from this really narrow viewpoint on the trans community that there are only trans women. Trans women get so much transphobia thrown at them. We're seeing it a lot in terms of sports and access to public spaces, like gendered spaces and just everything. And that makes a lot of transphobes who literally know nothing about the trans community other than the big fear-mongering lying headlines that they believe, and they think that all trans people are trans women, and so therefore making a sweeping statement like this of being like,
trans will never be women.
they think they are saying something. I mean, they are saying something, but they think they are saying something mean to trans people when actually it's only to a portion of trans people. Some trans people are women, but it is true that there are trans people who never will be women, who will never be women, who be never women will be. Sorry, it's having a Yoda moment. So the message of all your videos are to ignore your biology. What? Yeah, if you have XX chromosomes, you are male, and if you have XY chromosomes, you are female. Seems like this particular transphobe skipped even basic biology. LMAO, we're all trans. Okay, was it this one that Sharper said some people pronounce it Lamau? LMAO, Lamau. Really? Let me know if you do that. Anyway, LMAO, we're all trans. Thank you. Thank you. The person who's being transphobic said thank you to somebody saying we're all trans. I like the, oh, you're all ignoring biology, proceeds to ignore biology and get biology very wrong. I do not understand. Now, the mystery of what goes on in the brains of accidental allies is something that we are never gonna solve. But if you fancy sinking your teeth into some actual mysteries that you can solve and unravel, then say hello to June's Journey, today's video sponsor. June's Journey is a free-to-download mobile game that I have literally been playing for years. I play it every day, so understandably, this is a pretty cool collab for me, and I'm very excited to be sharing this with you because I genuinely love this game, okay? I'm very serious about it. It's a hidden object mystery game that transports you back to the glamour of the 1920s with a very diverse cast of characters, including some LGBTQ+ people and some actual allies, not accidental allies, real life allies. Well, real life in a mobile game allies. It's honestly such a beautiful game, and each scene where you need to find the hidden objects is just full of colour and 1920s style. A style that Sharp and I are rather fond of and have recreated in our own home. Within the game, you can customise, remodel and fix up your mansion and garden island. Something I personally find a lot more relaxing than remodelling in real life. I've created lots of different areas on my island, including a winter wonderland, my Venetian boating area, and I even have jellyfish. Who doesn't want jellyfish? But it's not just beautiful decorations. The gameplay and the scenery are equally as stunning. So sit back, relax, and unwind with a murder mystery. It might sound strange, but it is genuinely a really nice game to just sit down and relax whilst you're playing, despite the slightly murderous theme. You'll follow protagonist June Parker as she works to unravel the mystery of her sister's murder. There will be other mysteries along the way too, because honestly, June just seems to attract trouble and loves to solve her friends' problems too. To progress through the mystery, you'll complete scenes, find all the hidden objects, and uncover clues. You'll be gently challenged, and your observation skills will be tested. I personally love this game, and I would highly recommend giving it a go. You can download June's Journey for free by clicking the link in the description box or scanning this very handy QR code that is on screen right now. Ta-da! June's Journey is available on Android and iOS mobile devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. So go click that link or scan the QR code if you want to, but for now, let's get back to the accidental allies. We are not cis male or cis female, we are simply male or female. No prefix required. Elon Musk. Yes. This could honestly read as a very passionate trans person speaking to a transphobe and being like, we're not cis, you know? I'm not a cis person. At the core of it, I'm simply male or female. Like, it's just laughable because a lot of transphobes are so scared of the prefix cis, the adjective cisgender, Why? I don't understand. I think they're so scared because they don't understand and they don't want to try and understand. And maybe if they did try just a little bit, it would make it seem less scary and then they'd be okay. It's like, it's alright, you know. And a lot of them in the hardcore rejection of cis and cisgender make themselves sound trans because seriously, if you are not cis, you are trans. You are either trans or cis. Trans means that you have a different gender to the one you're assigned at birth. Cis means you have the same gender to the one you're assigned at birth. There is no middle ground of that. You're cis or you're trans. So by saying we are not cis male or cis female, thank you for coming out. I support you. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. JK Rowling. That aged like milk. Oh my god, are you serious? I feel like I've seen this before a long time ago when things started like bubbling about her being transphobic, and I didn't make the connection. I've not thought about this. I totally forgot about it. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. Like sitting out there being an accidental ally, and that quote has been immortalized on a wall. I mean, it might not be there anymore, but yes, JK Rowling, the original accidental ally. Awful. Keep blocking people, clown. It won't make you a man/woman. They've given up at this point. They are confused to the point where they don't even know how to insult a trans person and be correct in their insult. So they have just literally given up. It won't make you a man/woman. Fantastic for non-binary people. If this was aimed at a non-binary person, ultimate accidental ally. But even if this were aimed at someone who was a trans man or trans woman, what does it, why do they think that this would even be a functioning insult? I am insulted by the lack of effort. This is my trans masked brother and transphobes think he's a girl. Too bad for them because he will always be a man. Markiplier. I think they're trolling with a photo of Markiplier. Chromosomes and DNA doesn't lie. You and it/he/she loses. Loser. Do they think they can see the chromosomes?
I guess if I look very, very closely, I can see right through the skin. There is the DNA. Ah, it says this.
Clearly, it doesn't say anything. We can always tell, and then thinking that a cis YouTuber is trans because somebody's joked that they are, and then not even being confident enough to misgender him correctly. So it, he, she. Just throwing it all out there. Again, the lack of effort. Come on, trans folks, pull it together. That's beautiful. What's beautiful? Any English teacher who uses they, them as a singular pronoun should lose their teaching license. I'm pretty sure teacher is singular. A singular teacher, who this person then referred to as their, because they are referring to an individual person whose gender they do not know. This also works when you're referring to an individual person who is not a man or a woman. I mean, I hope this person isn't an English teacher because missing that kind of error, I don't understand why some people get so hung up and fully convinced and just rage over thinking that they, them in singular usage is grammatically incorrect. A very quick Google search will confirm the singular they isn't actually new. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the singular they showed up in writing in 1375, over 600 years ago. Wow. The OED also suggests the usage is even older since written language usually reflects trends already present in spoken language. Didn't Shakespeare also use they, them in a singular way? Authors including Shakespeare often have used the singular they. So I feel like if an English teacher isn't aware that they can be used as a singular pronoun, then maybe that's when they should just read some Shakespeare or a dictionary. Oh, the Markiplier one again. Oh no, how many crappy responses did this get? You will never be a woman. They've created acronyms now, did you know that? Y, W, N, B, A, W. And I'm assuming there's one that's B, A, M. Wimbam, you will never be a man. But the one I've seen is you will never be a woman. Great. This person who was jokingly described as trans mask, and even in there, they say because he will always be a man. Transphobes think he's a girl. Someone replied going, you will never be a woman. I don't hope, because I do love it when transphobes look silly, but I almost hope that was somebody taking the piss out of trans. Men can't get pregnant, end of trans women can, but men can't, they don't have a female reproductive system. That was a sentence. No notes, just a sentence. I hate to tell you this, buddy, trans women can't get pregnant. Yes, they can, she's a trans woman.
Artillery targeting detected.
I don't think I've ever had this level of self-confidence in saying anything ever that this person has had in saying something is so atrociously mixed up and confused and just shows a complete lack of awareness. So this is somebody's Twitter bio, I believe. Yes, I was stalking on Twitter. I saw a joke. There's like, yes, I'm dead naming that social media app. Transphobic, homophobic, and straight anti-furry deal with it. And just throwing that in there for good luck, aren't they? Trans men will never be women. Trans women will never be men. Thank you for, with your whole chest, just affirming trans men and women. This is so aesthetically bad. Ew. Trans women are biological women. You can't prove otherwise. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna leave that there. Cool. Good for you. Did they deliberately pick clouds that looked like the trans flag to sit behind that? Also, cis women have natural testosterone. Yes, they do. Well, yeah, because they're men. Maybe that's why so many cis women are getting offended by it. Maybe they just don't understand what it means. That doesn't even say trans. Like, this is a new one. I've never seen this one before. So if that said trans woman, would they have said the right thing? To be transphobic, I mean, not the right thing as in the actual correct, factually correct thing to say. So nearly. I feel like it's just this assumption that if there's any kind of prefix in front of the word man or woman, then automatically trans, even if that prefix isn't trans and literally means the opposite of trans. I think as well, some transphobes get really offended by the term cis because they feel like being cis makes them better than trans people, and by then them having a prefix as well in front of man or woman brings them down on the same level as trans people, when really that's definitely a them problem. That requires a readjustment to realize that being trans is just another way of being human, and it's not a lesser than way of being human, and anybody who thinks so is just a transphobe. So yeah, and then maybe they get offended because they don't want to have a prefix like trans people have a prefix, but unfortunately for them they do have a prefix. Or they could have not trans instead, like non-transgender. That's the alternative. A man in a dress is not a woman. Do you disagree with that? No. Gender expression does not change or dictate your gender identity. Racist, homophobic, and transphobic step grandma accidentally bought me a universal pride flag towel. Oh my god, it was the only towel they had left. Isn't it so cute with all the colours? It feels best with the lesbian heart at the centre. Thanks, Janet, accidental ally. Janet, the accidental ally. Thank you. That is a stunning towel. Men belong in men's locker room and women in women's locker room. It's really that simple. That is not being disagreed with by trans people. Oh, to be transphobic, you need to say a lot more words than that, and they need to be correct words for your transphobia. Again, factually incorrect, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, men belong in men's locker rooms, including trans men, women in women's locker rooms, including trans women. It really is that simple. My mum was crocheting this while being transphobic. No, she wasn't. That's brilliant. Yes. I mean, awful that your mum was being transphobic, but I love the irony. PragerU didn't think their Twitter poll would go this way. Good old PragerU. Oh, don't we hate PragerU. Trans women are women. 75k responses. 94.3% of the vote. There you go. Amazing. Men. 4.3k responses. 5.4%. Other. 0.3% of the vote. So even when going to PragerU's audience, over 94% would say trans women are women. And factually, they would be correct. I wonder if this maybe got picked out and shared outside of PragerU's normal transphobic bubble, or it just shows why we get so many examples of accidental allies. Yes, because trans women aren't men. There is one of PragerU's accidental allies was arguing with a transphobic person, and they sent me this. Could there be something wrong with my brain? No, it's my body that's wrong. I mean, aside from the word wrong, it's a bit bizarre to kind of automatically label trans people's bodies as wrong, but gender dysphoria is caused by a discomfort in the incongruence between gender identity and assigned birth sex, and therefore your body. And yeah, you cannot fix the brain. That's why conversion therapy doesn't work for any kind of LGBTQ plus person. It just categorically does not work. It is dangerous and it should be banned in its entirety. So this meme is very accurate. No, there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you, full stop, if you're trans, but there's definitely nothing to fix with your brain in terms of trans identity. The way to alleviate gender dysphoria is through things like HRT and gender affirming surgery, as in the body. Accidental badass picture of Jesus and a drag queen teaming up. Wow. It's like they're doing an interpretive dance in fire. I love it. I think this is fabulous. There's definitely a complete and utter lack of knowledge from bigots into the LGBTQ plus community, because this kind of thing, you draw this, it's not going to be seen as hateful. People are going to love it. There's fire, there's screaming, there's Jesus crouching with a sword, and there is somebody with a trans flag. Or are they holding a stick? They're holding a stick. The trans flag is in the flames, but it's not getting burnt. It's impervious to the burning. And people are filming. It is a sport. SpongeBob says trans rights on a sock. We love SpongeBob. Don't know the name of the artist, nor will I share, because this is a MAGA-T cartoonist who drew this to make fun of wokeness and accidentally created the single most pro-queer nerd shit ever. Someone drew that to be bigoted and make fun of wokeness, and that they thought that that would be taken as offensive. Okay, I'm all here for the pride flag cape and the representation and the diversity, yes. The Holocaust is just as real as trans women. Well, seeing as the Holocaust is incredibly very real, then yeah, thank you for admitting that trans women are incredibly very real. This crossover is, I'd say it's bizarre, but I honestly think you find a bigot, you peel back the layers, not literally, I'm not talking about playing or so grim, sorry.